before they came, before they were caught. We're joined now by one of the men charged with protecting the border, Lieutenant Chris Olivarez of the Texas State Troopers. Lieutenant, appreciate you being with us here. Have you seen any of the types of attitudes that Ali was talking about in this change of people saying, please help me, to we deserve to be here?
So one thing, thanks for having me. And of course, great reporting by Ali. And of course, as she mentioned, this group is very different compared to the Haitian group. This group is very, the actual leader of this group has it very strategic to where they have QR codes, which we have never seen that before. So they're very strategic in how they're moving this caravan along. But what we're dealing with, what our Texas State Troopers are dealing with, are the individuals that are getting across, single adults, that are avoiding detection and apprehension. So we're seeing these individuals travel through ranches and board trains to try to move further inland. And that's what we're seeing in the Del Rio sector right now. So that's our primary focus for now. And of course, in preparation for this caravan, we have the Texas State Troopers and Texas National Guard at those ports of entry in Del Rio and Eagle Pass, and taking a proactive measure in preparation for this potential caravan.
We're watching a number of different videos from when you and I were together down on the border together, and some of the folks that we caught. I'm most interested in some of the folks that perhaps also get through that are mixed in with the women and children. A law enforcement source showed us this picture of somebody who was on the terror watch list, who was apprehended, and by chance, turns out, once we figured out who he was on the terror watch list. Thankfully, he was caught. How many folks do you figure come through for every person or piece of drug paraphernalia or drugs themselves that you catch?
You know, it's kind of hard to pinpoint an actual number on it, but I can tell you right now, I was in Del Rio these past several days, working those train yards, working the ranches, and we've come across numerous, massive amounts of people, individuals that are boarding these trains and ranches. And we have criminal gang members, individuals that have ties to transnational criminal organizations that are mixed in with these groups. Some are single adult females. We've even encountered juveniles, 16, 17-year-olds that are mixed in with these groups as well. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly how many are getting across, but I can tell you right now, massive amounts are getting across, and it's only what we're catching. And the ones that we're not catching are part of those gotaways, which we're now, I believe CBP reported over 400,000 gotaways just for the fiscal year. So that's a large amount of people that are getting by us that we have no idea who they are and where they're headed to.
Obviously, Governor Abbott has ordered the National Guard out, and you all as well, to leave some of your other law enforcement duties and to come down to the border. This is the Texas Agricultural Commissioner talking about what's happening in the state. Take a listen.
We need to know, where does the wall need to be built? How much of it needs to be built? What's it going to cost? And how do we pay for it? You know, those are four basic questions that haven't been answered. I'm glad he's doing something, but we're not doing near enough.
Let me ask it this way. I understand the criticism of the Texas State Troopers aren't doing enough, but at some point, are you doing everything you can? And it just shows how overwhelming the problem is that folks are still being able to get through.
And we are. And one thing that the American people don't understand is that we can only operate on state property. Where we're making these arrests, we have to get consent from landowners on state property to make these arrests for criminal trespass. On federal property, we have no access. We're unable to enforce any laws on federal property because the federal government is not allowing us to do that. And of course, every time Governor Greg Abbott tries to launch an initiative or some type of executive order, it always gets challenged by the federal government. So again, he's doing the best that he can as far as providing resources and support to Texas State Troopers and National Guard, and we're doing as much as we can with what we're able to provide. But again, it all comes down to the federal government not allowing us to gain access to some of those areas to enforce laws, and that's a challenge right there.
I know the challenges are numerous, and we always appreciate you coming on to talk about us with us. Lieutenant, good to see you as always. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Always appreciate it. China has successfully completed a first test. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.